that Tim's daughter's in Girl Scouts, so he made some moves to jack up her cookie sales.
Yeah. He's
What
got to
did
buy
he
a box
do?
with every $100 order, right?
So for every $100 order through the Pro Shop, use the coupon code cookies, and then you get a free box of Thin Mints.
Seriously?
Yeah, and then it didn't take me too long to figure this out. About 3 seconds to figure out what Tim had done.
He bought a bunch of cookies for his daughter and trying to get her to win stuff.
Yes, which it seems to me he should just buy her whatever it is that she would win, and he'd save everyone a lot of time.
It'd be a lot cheaper, like buying a gun instead of going to a match that you might win a gun at, you know?
Yes,
It's
exactly.
the point to see how many cookies the kid can sell and not how many their parents can sell.
I think you
that matters.
I think you misunderstand how parenting works.
Isn't it supposed to be an exercise in something other than seeing how many cookies the parents can sell?
I don't know. Every goddamn science project the kids around here do, it's like mom's very involved in that.
I remember some arts and crafts also.
Yeah, it's like wow, you guys are really you're really slaying it on the fish made of clay or whatever it is we're doing today.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost like an adult did that. Let's see, did this guy throw down on the yeah. Oh, well, I think Tim is going to be shipping some cookies. Anyway, welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name is Ben. Here to answer shooting questions. On deck today, Nick Yantola, who we've dearly missed you.
I am back.
And Grumpy Matt,
Hi.
who I don't think anybody's missed lately.
Whatever.
I'm just being honest, dude.
I'm just trying to streamline the walkthroughs is all.
Is that all you're doing?
That's all I'm
Didn't even have to
doing.
wait till the end of the show to get to it this time. Just
Well, I
right out of the
figured.
gate. Boom.
We'll give a more detailed explanation.
Next thing I know, it's like you're going to be like, if I walk onto a bay and there aren't bottles of water there, I'm going to find the match director and punch him in the face.
If you weren't so dehydrated, you'd track him down.
You don't get angry when you get dehydrated, Matt. You just get sort of tired. That's what I've observed. All right. Here's the guy's question. He starts off with, might have a question for your podcast here. I'm new to USPSA, not to action shooting, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I've noticed that I reholster after all my dry fire drills without unloading and showing clear. Actually, I reholster as if I'm including this in my PAR time. I'm currently trying to break myself of this habit. Is this likely to develop into a bad habit and get me DQ'd? How does the panel of GMs practice dry fire with respect to this issue? Are there any other bad habits that I should be looking to avoid in my dry fire training? I don't recall seeing anything about this in your dry fire book. In case it matters, I noticed that I was reholstering while practicing sample stages. Nick, what do you think?
I wouldn't worry about it at all. I never unload and show clear in dry fire. I mean, you know, there's no RO, so who am I going to show clear to, right? I mean, I'm working with dummy ammo. In fact, one of the reasons that I like shooting a double action gun is because I don't have to rack the slide every time I put it in the holster like I used to do with striker guns. So, you know, I don't see it as an issue. I mean, dry fire. I mean, you're there to focus on the other aspects of it. So, no, I wouldn't worry about it at all.
What do you think, Hopkins?
I don't think it's causing scars or anything, you know? I don't think you get DQ'd either for it. Like,
For
It's
reholstering quickly?
no, I mean, it's pretty apparent, like in a match, when you have an RO right over your shoulder telling you exactly what to do.
All right. I'll go one better. I think that unloading, or kind of mock unloading your gun after every dry fire drill is counterproductive, because that's really going to interfere with your training. One thing that actually, I don't know that it pisses me off, but it's kind of it's something that annoys me, especially in a class setting, is if you're on the line to do a drill 4 or 5 times, there's so many USPSA shooters, every time they shoot, they get done, they unload their gun. And it's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to stand up here and you're going to shoot this. There's no pasting. You've kind of trained yourself to waste your own time because you're unloading after every repetition on a drill. So that's not a habit I'd want to get into during dry fire. Oh, I mean, that's just going to make it worse. So, and of course, I wouldn't want to waste the time in dry fire either. So you do your dry fire drill, and then holster up. So don't be mocking the unloading procedure or doing a mock unload. Don't worry about it. Just do your dry fire drills. Now, to get comfortable with load and make ready and unload and show clear, that's stuff that you can dry fire practice on its own as you're kind of getting into the sport. But then once you have that stuff down, I wouldn't bother practicing it a whole lot in dry fire. On the other hand, being in the habit of holstering really fast, like as if that's part of the par time, I don't think that's a good idea. So you're going to holster quickly, but it's not a good thing to rush. So maybe do your dry fire drill, do your live fire drill, whatever. As soon as you're done, you can take a pause just for half a second and then think about what you're doing. Safe the gun if it's a single action or whatever. If not, decock it, holster it, and don't rush the holstering process, because that's a good way to get yourself hurt. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention that, but I forgot. But yeah, I've a lot of times. Sometimes I see, not always newer shooters, but probably more often than not, when I see it, it is a newer type shooter. But yeah, there's, like Ben said, there's no reason at all to rush. It's you're not holstering on the clock. Yeah. You just, and the biggest danger is obviously with a striker gun. You can probably, relatively light trigger, and if something happens, you get snagged. You could have a bad day. So
well, I could tell you this: if you shoot someone in a USPSA setting, it's probably going to be yourself, and it's probably going to be related to drawing or holstering.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be my guess.
I've seen somebody actually. I wasn't actually standing there looking at them when it happened, but I was actually at an indoor match years ago, and had a guy put one into the ground in an indoor range on concrete surface.
That's tight.
Holstering, and how fragments did not hit anybody, I have no idea, because there was probably 20 people standing there. But nobody was hurt, but it was not something that I would want to see again. It's bad news, so don't do it. Holster gently.
Yeah, I mean, just mental pause for a second, like, okay, I'm going to holster it up. Can you think of any other bad habits from dry fire?
Just speaking for myself, it's the worst habit I just have to avoid in general in dry fire is cheating, just cheating sight pictures. So, I think if you're going to try to be as honest as possible with your dry fire trigger pulls and par time. And once again, I try to focus on that. I try to do those things correct in dry fire. It's for me that it's no replacement for live fire. I still have to do that stuff in live fire to really polish it. But I just try to not cheat the side pictures too bad, especially like the first and the last one from like a position that you're shooting from.
Yes. What about safety-wise? Because that seems to be this dude's concern.
I just, I really, I don't pay attention to that as much in dry fire. After I verify the gun is unloaded, of course, and I've got all my dry fire magazines on, I honestly don't really worry about like a 180 or anything really.
That's interesting.
I have years of experience doing this. Really? Yeah.
That's the advice I would give, especially for newer guys. Put a 180 in effect for your dry fire, and just get in the habit of always having a 180.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase. So when I'm actually shooting, I'm conscious of the 180. Like if I'm actually doing an exercise, I'm aware of where the 180 is, and I'm automatically not breaking it.
Yeah.
But like when I'm just loading up or walking over to the kitchen to grab a glass of water or whatever, like I don't.
Like for me, I'm in a basement with targets 360 degrees all the way around me.
Yeah.
And of course, like a safe backstop all the way around too. But for every drill, I find myself, okay, what is the 180 on this drill, or whatever I'm doing? What is the 180? And I'm always practicing that. And that's been helpful for me.
Yeah, I would say I'm conscious of that when I'm actually shooting or actually dry firing.
Hopkins, any top dry fire tips?
Those are all very good. I don't have any more safety, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Don't put a live round in there.
My other safety, the only other thing I do safety-wise is, obviously I use dummy rounds, with real bullets in them for the weight. But then I also top off the magazines with one snap cap each. So if I have a magazine in my hand, it doesn't have a snap cap on the top of it, that instantly tells me that just to be aware of what's going on. Where'd my snap cap go? It probably fell out of the magazine.
That must happen a lot. That must really get old.
No, it doesn't happen too much. But I have one snap out of there every now and then.
All right. I just put up the next question. What advice can you give someone who has very, in all caps, very limited indoor range time, and even more limited outdoor range time, but wants to get started in competitive shooting? What are the most important things for a newbie to work on, if not master? Hopkins, you start.
Basically, you can only shoot matches, right?
I don't know. It says he has limited range time. You must have some training time.
I'd say do everything. I mean, we've answered this like 10 times.
I know, right? And people keep fucking asking it.
So, like, do everything you can do in dry fire where you don't have to shoot the actual fire of the gun. Then do the noisy part when you have the time, right? That's a standard answer.
What's the number one thing you tell them to master?
I'd say work on shot calling. That's pretty important.
Okay. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of getting the same thing Matt is, but my just real short summary would be I would work on the hoser stuff in dry fire, and I would work on the trigger control and hard shots in live fire. So if I had limited live fire time, every single bit of it would be devoted toward trying to make hard shots at speed. So if that's an indoor range, I'm going to run them out, shoot as far as I can on a partial target out there, whatever.
When I started doing USPSA, one of the first things I did, I think the first thing I did aside from gun handling was learning how to shoot like bill drills up close. Immediately. That was the first thing I started working on. And that seemed like that worked pretty well. I would hate to have a guy neglect that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have the time to do it in live fire, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some of that too. But in my opinion, at least the way I work, I can get competent better at close hoser stuff in dry fire than I can. Like, I can't really get, like, I can try to dry fire like long, tight shots, but it's only going to help me do a certain amount. Like, to actually get better at that stuff, I have to live fire it, period. That's just how I work. The hoser stuff, I can maintain my, high-speed draw and transition and reload and whatnot better in dry fire than I can my tight shot calling, I guess.
All right. Yeah, you guys are right. That is lame. But here's another question that you guys will like. I know you use bullets out, and Tim and Matt are traditionalists. Have they tried bullets out, and did they dislike it? I'm considering changing to bullets out for single stack. So I use bullets out. Neither of you guys do.
I haven't ever tried it.
Okay. Why do you use bullets forward? Because that's the right way to do it, right?
Because that's how I was told to do it when I started.
Phil was like, that's how you do it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, Nick, you've tried it.
That's all I have. So,
Nick, you've tried both.
To say I tried it would be giving it too much credit. I gave it 5 minutes one time. 5 minutes, and I was like, nope. Now, the reason I didn't give it more time, and the real reason that I'm ultimately still in bullets forward is it was kind of holdover from IDPA. So when I was coming over to dabble in some USPSA, the gear's a little different, obviously, but I just, I wanted to keep certain things a little bit consistent if possible. So that was one of the things. I just, I kind of just wanted to go bullets forward. The other thing is, like, the one time I tried bullets out, it was when I was changing every other piece of gear as well. So I was switching guns, I was switching belts, holsters, magazine carriers. Like I switched all my gear in the off season. And then I also tried bullets out for, like I said, literally 5 minutes at that point in time. And I was like, I just thought that, I'm undergoing enough change here. I don't need to pile this on top of it. I'll revisit it in a year or whatever. But I never have. I've always stayed bullets forward.
I'm such a bullets out devotee that I shot a year of IDPA, and when I started USPSA in the middle of that year, and I did not even have a double belt, or race pouches or any of that shit. I just had IDPA legal pouches, and a leather belt was what I started shooting USPSA with. And then I bought a Sierra Speed belt or something, and CompTac. No, not CompTac. I had Sierra Speed pouches as well, and those made it one USPSA match with me. Regular Sierra Speed pouches, and they fucking suck. Like I cut half of them off. The top half I cut off with a hacksaw to get them fitted right, and I'm like, oh, they're grabbing too much magazine. I don't like this, and I didn't like the pouches, and especially reaching really far back with the bullets, bullets forward conventionally. I didn't like how there's always a pouch in the way. As soon as you go back to the second magazine, there's a pouch in the way every time, and I just didn't dig on that. And there was this dude in Chicago that was making bullets out pouches, and there was like 2 retards running those pouches. But I looked at those and I was like, those are kind of interesting because it made a lot of sense to me. But so I got those. The Sierra Speed pouches went away. I tried these pouches. They were called Speed Comps, and after a couple weeks, I was able to use them. It literally took weeks to get to the point where I could effectively use the pouches. But I stuck with it because I thought in my little pea brain, like, hey, this will work. This will work out. I'll be able to make it. It'll be better long term.
So it did take you weeks to make the switch.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
not what I figured.
Yeah, that's just because I've been practicing so much the other way. And I think in 2009 I got a set of Ghost pouches because the Speed Comp pouches were good, but that guy quit making them and went away, and everybody's like, "You're a stupid fag. Bullets out is dumb." I'm serious. I mean, he got a lot of shit. I mean, he was trying to sell them, but it was like no bueno on those pouches. So I got the Ghost pouches that you could configure bullets out, and I stuck with it. Obviously I've been doing it since, and I like it a lot. I do not think it is any faster or better. Not really. At the end of it, like, you're going to be about the same speed either way. It's more comfortable because you don't have the pouch in the way as you reach back for other magazines, and I like that. If I shot limited, bullets forward would be fine. I wouldn't even have seen a need to switch. But when you're going 2, 3, 4 magazines back, I like the bullets out. Now I will say this. I don't like it as much for single stack guns. Not near as much.
Why is that?
Because the magazines are so thin. It feels weird coming in from the side, trying to find that magazine.
Like there's nothing to get hold of, or?
No, not really. With the Pro Shop Goons came up with some spacers for the Ghost pouches. Yeah. So the pouch is still thick, but it fits the single stack magazine, and I actually like that. I like that pouch better than the single stack magazine pouches that are tilted on the side. I think the Double Alpha ones. Double Alpha makes pouches that are very easy to go bullets out for single stack, and I like the spacered Ghost pouches better because it puts a little more space between the magazines. Because guys with single stack magazines, guys can stack them so tight that when you come in from the side, you might have magazine. I mean, my pet peeve is having magazine or pouch from a magazine that I'm not currently trying to grab, having my hand running into it. I hate it. And then the other reason is for the single stack nationals, they keep the round count pretty low. What is it? It's 24 rounds max per stage, yeah?
Yeah, that's a max.
So, I mean, it's not like you're going to go back to your 5th magazine. So I like it less for single stack, and I mean, I don't shoot single stack, so that's just my theory based on observation. But I don't love it as much for single stack. But for production, I do like bullets out. But of course, if we're shooting a high cap division, IPSC production, limited, open, it does not matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I understand the theory, and I agree that it's certainly possible. But I think it's at the end of the day, it's obviously far more about how much you practice and which direction your bullets.
Dude, yeah, obviously you can be fast either way.
So really hell of a guys that go, but
it's not really about that for me. It's not about speed. It's just like I want it to be comfortable to reach the magazines and easy. I don't think you're an idiot if you do the conventional way. Of course, I mean it's just it works fine.
Yeah, it's something I may revisit at some point. But my off season the last couple of years has been so short that I really haven't. I don't know that I even would have had the time to make the switch. So one of those things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure that bullets out. I mean, it got popular. I think a lot of guys just do it, but they don't really understand why they're doing it. They just like, oh yeah, that looks different. I'll try that. Hopkins, you give it a try?
There really wasn't anybody doing it.
What's that?
For you, there really wasn't anybody doing it, right?
No, that's me trailblazing, like pointing the magazines the wrong direction and using a double action gun.
Pretty much it, right?
Yeah, like doing like stupid fag shit in production. But I never did get the Berettas to catch on.
They were out of production, weren't they? By the time that you were,
yeah, they were done. that was too late. It is amusing what people will try. It'd be great. Like I was just shooting a Beretta. I mean, at a certain point, I was just shooting that gun as a joke. It was just kind of like amusing to me to have everyone tell me what a piece of shit it was, and just like keep shooting it. Whatever. What are you gonna Hopkins? What are you trailblazing?
You really want me to get into it?
Exit out the back?
Yes.
Okay.
He's literally trying to blaze a trail at the back of the stage.
You are going to have an impact on the sport, my friend.
That's all I worry about. Making the sport better. One walkthrough at a time.
What about you, Nick?
I walked back through the middle of a stage just for you last weekend, Hopkins.
Oh my God. It's already going to start.
I fucked myself all year on this. I mean, I'm just going to have to suck it up for a year and just deal with it. I get like one walkthrough and it'll be shitty because Ben will be like...
I can't even tell you how many people have emailed me saying that they're going to fuck with you on this.
I'm totally sure. No. I know it'll happen.
I'm just telling you, it's a number that's more than 6.
I know. I'll deal with it.
I think I'm going to start a pool on like who can get you to punch them in the face first. That's what we're going to do.
Some joke about Rosa Parks blazing a trail inappropriate.
Yeah, back of the bus. All right, guys, thank you for coming on. Another high-energy show. All right, one other thing. If you want to try some blue bullets from thebluebullets.com, you can go there, use the discount code Stoeger. That's my name. It's not spelled at all like it sounds. But you go there, use the discount code Stoeger, get 5% off if you want to try those bullets. If you think those bullets are stupid, then don't try them. It's up to you. If you have a shooting question you want the answer to, go to benstoeger.com, email me your question, and we will answer it for you. You guys have anything else? Nick?
No.
All right. Good. Oh, thank you for coming on, guys.